To understand the needs of people with disability, we need to understand the parts of the roadmap, the sequence they go through from the second they decide to leave their homes and go to an unknown place and until they get to safety. The first step is getting information. That's the first challenge we, as the Purple Vest Mission initiative starters, when we started this initiative, we understood that there is lack of information about accessibility. We want to create a website with this information. We want to gather information from the field, from the different checkpoints. We want to give this information to people to make them feel safe and sure, and to make them feel like they can go to this journey, to this travel, and they will have accessibility along the way. Information is the key to give people accessibility. And there is lack of information, and knowing in advance is so important to people with disabilities. They won't go, they won't be evacuated if they don't know what's waiting for them. And we want this awareness campaign, the Purple Vest Mission campaign, to go everywhere, and people will know, I have someone I can call, I have someone I can contact, and this person is making sure I'll have the accessibility information or medical assistance information I need. Deciding to leave is the next step. It's the most difficult step. If I have everything at home, if at home I'm afraid, but I know what's going on, I know what I have or don't have, I know if I have my supplies, I know my neighbor, going out into the unknown is so stressful. People are so scared to do that. Sometimes they'll rather to stay in a dangerous place than to be evacuated. But if I'm trying to lower the tension, giving them information, building trust with them, listening to their needs, fears, and then they might decide to be evacuated. If I'll give them exact information, full information about what awaits them, they might decide to go. But even if they decide to stay, even if they choose to stay behind, they're not left behind. I'm still going to assist them. Getting out of the house is the first and difficult steps. Are there stairs? Is there an elevator? Is it working? Are the ways to the place this person lives still exist or got bombed or ruined during the war? Is there electricity in the building? All these questions are questions we have to know. We have a form that we ask people who approaches us to fill out, so we'll know exactly what they need, where they live, what exists, doesn't exist, and what kind of help they need from us. Is there a need for a special vehicle? Is there a need for horizontal evacuation? Is there some kind of medical equipment needed for the way? Does it need oxygen, special wheelchair, a gurney? We need to know what this person needs to get out of the house, and what do we need to get to his house. Travel to home border, what are the challenges? Long ride, lack of accessibility on the way. Where can I stop to use the toilets? If I can't be seated for a long time, when can I go and lay down for a while so I won't have dangerous sores that are life-threatening? Arranging accessibility along the way, toilets, dialysis, changing rooms, food, medical supplies. People need to know where they can stop and get the help they need. And when they get to the border, where is the drop-off? Do I need to walk? Can I walk for a while? Maybe the person can walk for a while, but can't walk long distance. Is there a way to go with a wheelchair? Can the car go through the checkpoint or really get to the checkpoint? Those are questions we have to ask ourselves. The get off car protocol. Are there long lines? Can the person I'm assisting wait these lines? Can I inform the people, my associates at the border, that there is a person that can't wait for a long time because of medical or illness or situation, because of mental situation? That I need to know what is the situation in that specific checkpoint, and maybe I'll decide to take him to a different checkpoint or in a different way. That is the importance of exact information from the person and the research I do before I take him on the journey. And a lot of officials, a lot of staff, a lot of organizations don't have the basic training we're doing it today. Border crossing registration point. Do I need a horizontal evacuation? Is there a way to go with a wheelchair? getting accessible vehicles. Who will pay for these vehicles? Where can they go through? And the sign instructions and information on the checkpoint. Sometimes there is no information. We got a call from a lady at the train station. She didn't understand that all the people with the vests are there to help her, and her blind daughter couldn't help her with that, with approaching other people. And of course, again, training for the staff on the field. On the registration point, and when we try to find accommodation solutions for people that decided to be evacuated, there's lack of training and knowledge of officials and volunteers on what is accessibility and what are the needs of people with disabilities and the elderly. And sometimes there aren't accessible solutions. Some people, some facilities or hospitals can't really be ready for the person I want to send out and bring to them. And sometimes the houses or hosting and hospitality isn't suitable for people with disabilities. After we understand the challenges, let's give ourselves some guidelines on how to assist people with disabilities. First of all, ask the person what he needs. Every training we do is called Help Me Help You. Don't assume the person doesn't know what he needs. Ask him. Take his advice and guidance on how to assist him. Do not touch him, his equipment, his pet, his personal belongings. Speak directly to the person with disability, directly to the elderly person, so you will know he's not transparent. You see him, you listen to him, he exists, and you're there for him. And it's dignified, it's respectful to not just erase his presence. Before evacuation, make sure the person takes essential equipment. Wait a second, did you forget something? Let's make sure there's a checklist of everything you need, every document, every equipment, medicine, diapers, everything you need for the road. Let's make sure you took it. Money. Help carry your old object if needed. And if a person needs escorting, make sure to never leave them alone and always explain what is going on, even if it's because he has mental issue or cognitive or autism that he can't understand what's going on, or because he can't see. Always be with him, always explain what's going on. Make sure to never leave him alone. And if you need to leave him alone, tell him, I'm going for a moment. Wait here. I'm not leaving you. I'll be back in a second. And make sure to actually do that, or make sure someone else approaches that person. A few more tips for assisting everyone with disability or the elderly. Be sensitive, attentive, patient, and respectful. Listen to the person, but really listen. Take into consideration what he needs, how he wants to be helped. Calm the person and build trust. Get information about the independency or medical situation, exact information. Ask all the right questions. We have the entire form of what we need to know about a person before evacuating him. Make sure you have all the information that can help you help him. Find out if there is a caregiver or other family members or a pet that you need to contact or involved in the process of assisting and aiding this person. Make sure every person involved in the sequence is aware of the accessibility needs and relevant details. What does it mean? If I'm taking the person to the checkpoint, but at the checkpoint he meets someone else, I'm making sure that everything in that form, everything about the person's situation, or everything about his sequence is known to everyone in advance. Everyone in the sequence know who is this person, what he needs, and how to assist him. Make sure the roadmap is as continuous as possible. I need to really plan the trip. What are the stops? Where do I stop? Who will meet me there? Who will meet me behind the checkpoint, behind the border? What is the final destination? Every detail is important and has great meaning for this person. Give as much information and details as you can to this person. Respect his choice. The true meaning of leaving no one behind is even if he doesn't want to go, even if I did all this work researching, but he's saying, I prefer staying here where I know what's going on. Respect that. Still offer him assistance and make sure he's not left alone to deal with everything at home without, even if he's not evacuated, make sure he gets help. Find out if essential equipment is needed. due to damage or medical condition. If the road, the entire street got bombed and I can't go there, maybe I need special equipment. Maybe the person needs to walk to where I'm staying if he can. Just really getting to know all the details of the surroundings and the medical situation of the person I'm assisting. Guidelines for accessible telephone call. If I'm talking on the phone with the person and or communicating with him before I meet him or before he's evacuated, politely introduce yourself. Find out how can this person be helped following the accessible evacuation system form. Understand from the person what is the best way to communicate with him. If he has problem hearing or speaking, or he doesn't have a good reception at good signal at his phone, maybe I need to write him, maybe I need to go there, maybe he needs SMS, WhatsApp, or telephone or emails. Make sure you contact him and communicate in the way that is suitable for him and his disability. Find out whether this person is living alone or rather they live with family or caregiver. People who can have problem conducting a phone call are people with hearing disabilities, speech disabilities, cognitive communication, and mental disabilities. How can I recognize that the person on the other side has difficulties conducting this call? The person identifies himself as a person with hearing disability or other disability that challenges him while I'm talking with him on the phone. The person responds with phrases such as, "What? I can't hear you. I don't understand. Speak louder. Please repeat." And sometimes they answer out of context, like I'm asking him, "What floor do you live?" And he's saying, "No, I don't need you to buy it." You see that there is no connection between what I said and what he said. Maybe he can't hear me well because of noise around him or around me, maybe because he has hearing disabilities. A few more tips for conducting an accessible telephone call. Speaking to a person with hearing disability, show sensitivity, empathy, patience, and tolerance. Don't be, if you need to repeat what you're saying it loud or saying it slowly, do that. Talk clearly and slowly, but do not shout. Make sure your sentences are short and simple. Ask other colleagues next to you to be quiet